Hey guys, Basscliff here to give you a demo of an Ableton plugin I made wow, I use this on so many tracks. I'd say pretty much everything. It's one of my favorite new Ableton plugins I've made, and it's a frequency splitter. There's so many possibilities to this. Like, I'm sure you guys are going to come up with great variations of this yourself, but here's the basic one. This one just splits your frequency into a high and a low. You can have a listen here and hear what it's doing. So this is just the highs, just the lows together. Now I haven't got any effects on those at the moment. They're just open. You can put whatever you want there. So maybe you want to put a chorus on the highs but not affect the lows. No problem. So here's another one too, where I've even got it set up with 3. So if you need high, mid, and low, you can do that too. I'll come back to that. The most useful thing I've found for this is I use it for split compression. And split sidechain compression. So when you're keying things from your kick drum in your track and you want to get that pumping sound they use in house and a lot of dance music really, the kick hits and it pulls down the compressor and it makes everything else quiet. It helps you fit the bass in, but sometimes you want the top end to still be there, even just a little bit. You don't want all of it to go away. So this fixes that. This is multi-band sidechain compression. Here's an example. Listen to this. This bass line sound is really full. It's got a lot of frequencies and I need the top end to make it work. Let me play it in solo with nothing on it. If I was to just drop the kick in on top of that, you're going to get the bottom end fighting a lot, right? So we want to sidechain that, but I want to still have the top end in there too. So if I switch this on, I'll put these both on ratio on full. That sounds like normal sidechain where it turns the volume down. But I've got split sidechain here, so I'm going to turn down the high compression and leave the low one on full. Let's have a look. So now I'm still getting a little bit of that top end. I could have none. It's a little attacky, so I like to put in, say, between 1 to 2. Something about there. Here's back to normal compression. Almost sounds too squashed. And then if we undo that and let a little bit of the highs back through. Perfect. It's exactly what it needed. So this comes in so handy. It lets you get away with squashing things with sidechain more than you normally could. Because you can, quite often, you can sidechain the bottom end really hard and get away with it fine. But if you do it too much to the top, it sounds overcooked. This lets you dial in one setting for the top, one setting for the bottom. And yeah, of course, you've got a crossover here too. So you can choose how much of where the top is and where the bottom is as well. Your regular settings are there too. Threshold, these are your ratios. You've got your attack and your release to set up the time for your compression to get it in time with the track too. To set up the key, you just come into here and you've got high band and low band. And just like normal, you come over here and select where it's coming from, low band, and select it there. Remember to do both of them, otherwise it won't work properly. And I'll often usually just put this on an auxiliary track and just pipe things to it, like I'll send the bass to it and a bunch of other things. That way I only ever have to make one setting for my sidechain and everything's running through that sidechain group. It also means you can freeze all the tracks, because you can't freeze sidechain tracks in Ableton for some reason. Don't ask me why. Okay, so that's one great use for split frequency, being able to do that. Some other fun stuff I came up with too was, I'll turn that back on. This one uses a frequency shifter, but only on the top end. And you can hear as I bring that all the way through. If I put that on everything, it's a bit overwhelming, but if I just put it on the top end, see, then you get the bass staying solid down the bottom, but everything else on the top is going nuts. So still got your bass there. Got another one here that uses ring modulation. See, if that was on everything, probably couldn't use it, but if we let the bottom end come through, good to go. And you can chuck anything you want in there too. So like I said, coming back to here, there's the blank just 2-band one here. It's your high and your low. You just chuck it any plugin you want after the splitter, or just drop it on the high or the low, and it will load in there as well. And you can get creative with it. If you think of something, go, oh gee, I'd love to use that effect, but I'd only like to use it on the bottom end, or I'd only like to use it on the top. One great one too is just straight up compression. Over here, check out this loop. I've got like just a kick and a drum loop there. A drum loop's quite dynamic because it's live, so what about if we do some, if we tried to compress that normally, the kick would be pulling down the compressor all the time and it'd be reacting off it too much. But this is going to let me now leave the kick, the low end there, and just compress the top end. So it's just compressing everything above 300. Let me turn it off. And back on. Now that's just using, it's just using the glue compressor, which is a great compressor. And you can just set up whatever you want with that. You can get as crazy as you want. Or you could even make it more wet and dry too. It's actually great on kick drums as well. Let's come back to there. You can keep the bottom end of your kick drum, but just compress the upper part and give it more snap. Especially if your kick drum's got a little bit of an ugly note to it, it'll just let the front pop through, pull down the ugly bit, and the bass stays the same all the way through. Super handy for that as well, but I think you guys are going to find so many uses for it. So there's the frequency splitter, there's the multiband sidechain, and a couple of other effect ones I had in there as well too. What was it? The ring modulation one and the shifter one too. Check them out. You can get them all on bassclef.com.